You asking about psychedelic work, so I'll come back to that in a
Yeah.
minute. I was in a psychedelic ceremony with some indigenous people in Canada, maybe about 8 years ago now. I met a woman who was taken from her family by law, abducted by the police, taken to the residential school. The parents weren't even allowed to visit these kids. They were her first day in school as a 4-year-old. She spoke her tribal language. You know what the punishment was? They stuck a pin through her tongue. This was in the 1960s in Canada. 1950s, I'm sorry, late 1950s. For a whole hour, this little girl couldn't put her couldn't put her tongue back in her mouth for fear of cutting her lips. That's before the sexual abuse began. By the time she was 9 years old, she was an alcoholic. By the time she was 20 years old, she was a heroin addict. Now her grandchildren are heroin addicts. What's being passed on here is the trauma, not the addiction. Now, the reason I began to talk about addiction is after that book came out, showing the relationship between addiction and trauma, I would travel and I'd be speaking, and people would ask me, what do you know about ayahuasca and the healing of addiction? I'd say, I know nothing. Next city, hey, what do you know about addiction and the healing of trauma? Nothing.